John the author.
John the author.
John the author.
John the author.
The first questions to ask this coop is John the author.
Open your eyes, look at me, you'll find I'm just a law-abiding nigga with a criminal mind. It's so hard to think straight with all this shit on the line. It's so hard to not be fucking all these women is fine. And I'm trying, I swear I'm trying, but my dick not. This
Who is
one
John
of them
the author?
challenges.
I am a father. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm a man. I'm a black man. I'm a rapper. I'm a poet. I'm a philosopher. I think I'm a philosopher.
When I pull up just hop inside, everybody just can't go on this flight through the sky. Some people might mess up the vibe, it might be some snakes in the tribe. When I pull up just hop inside. Hi, welcome again to my mind.
Born July 27, 1990, as John Baker. At what age did you coin the name John the author?
John the author didn't come along for years before I decided to call myself John the author. A lot of people call me J Bake. J Bake was the name. Go back to all of my teenage years. Like I was J Bake, Bake Busy. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So
Yeah.
how did that name go?
Well, it's just both names are just really like new variations of my real name, which is John Arthur Baker. So, and J Bake was just, of course, like J Bake, John Baker, and then John the author is my middle name, Arthur. So I always say, like, I guess like somebody knew I was gonna be a writer, but not, and they didn't know what kind of writer, right? So when I was going by J Bake, I would do a lot of open mics, right? I would go out and I would sign that list, put J Bake on it. And like, for the most part, I noticed that I would get thrown into this pool of artists that you would not necessarily know what type of art they did or what type of artists they were. And I was just trying to figure out a way to stand out because, back in the day, like, open mics would be filled with a bunch of street rappers, right? We talking about Southside shit. We talking about, hood shit. And it's like, here I am, this conscious nigga, in this hood open mic, and I want to stand out. But J Bake really doesn't stand out when you look at it on paper. So, that's when a light bulb just, popped on in my head, and it was just like, you know what? You're an artist. You know what I'm saying? You're a writer. You know what I'm saying? You really put that pen to the pad, and you really have some shit to say. You're an author, man. You're telling stories. Oh, your middle name's Arthur. John the author.
And bad methods. At this point, will you forgive me's a bad question. I seen it all. Sometime it feel like I dreamed it all. My mind was dirty. I had to pick it up and clean it off. A king was lost out here rowing so many boats, running around talking about sowing royal oats.
I remember walking into venues and signing up and waiting fucking all night to perform and listen to like 30 or 40 weak ass niggas because the promoter or whatever had to get that paper, you know what I'm saying? And so let every nigga sign up and pay $20 because that's money, you know what I'm saying? And I just remember how horrible that was, but that was what they said you needed to do at the time, right? The whole fucking process of just trying to get on, during those years, and I'm talking about 2007 up until, maybe 2015-ish, it was just like local artists would get to run around by the industry, by DJs, by, gatekeepers, by everyone. It was like people were preying on our ambitions to be something. And I felt it, you know what I'm saying? It happened to me, you know what I'm saying? I spent unnecessary, money to get, false results. You know what I'm saying? And oh man, when I look back on it, it just sucks so bad because so many artists have these dreams and really want to make something of themselves, but we often get taken advantage of if we don't wake up and realize that everything that we need is in us. But, we often think that we need to meet this superstar over here. We need the motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, go stand down in front of a radio station and beg them to play our shit or whatever the fuck. But we really need to just focus on ourselves.
Well, my name is Greg Baker, a.k.a. Pro Baker. And I'm John, the author's oldest 4 boys. I taught them a lot. I want to say I'm the first person that taught him how to rap. He was a fan of 50 Cent, Lil Bow Wow, and me. No, but I didn't really teach him how to rap, you know what I'm saying? But I was there doing the parts where, you know what I'm saying, I kind of helped keep him around people that can help develop his musical abilities. And then I also, we also did like voicemails, so we used to rap on the voicemails. It was just me and him on voicemails, stuff like that, little stuff kids do. And just be in the bathroom, we had the cell phone, then we do a voicemail, make a little voicemail on the cell phone. I think that was when I was working at Walgreens over there in Jaffrey Manor, over there around 95th and Jaffrey. We came up in an era where they was coming out with different DAWs and different softwares that you can use to record at home. One of the first ways that we started recording, because I was working at Walgreens at the time I had a little money, I started putting together my own little studio. But a lot of people was going to our cousin Jimmy's house. He had a lot of stuff over there, like a lot of software. He used to have a lot of computers, a lot of the knickknacks, and one thing he did have was Acid Pro. I think he had Acid Pro that people used to go over there and record, and then come up with a little song. I mean, the mixing and stuff was terrible, but you still had a chance to kind of hear your voice and kind of develop.
I wouldn't say music runs in my family, but I definitely would say artistry does. My mom is an artist. Like, my mom was a painter. My mom can draw her ass off, Growing up, we can go into my grandfather's house, we can go into my grandmother's house, and you would see like portraits of them drawn by my mom, that she drew when she was in her early 20s and stuff like that. So, definitely artistry runs in the family. My brother, he sings, my sister, she sings, my other brother who passed away, he drew just like my mom. I rap, of course, so that we all are artists to a certain extent. And I think that's what was passed down, opposed to just the gift of song.
I connected with John the Author. We call him Bake. Y'all know John the Author. I know that nigga is Bake. But I met him about close to 20 years ago. I was recording at a friend's house, and I made this beat, and my homie called his brother, which is Pro Baker. He called him and heard the beat, and he called his little brother, which was John the Author. John the Author came and spit this verse, and for him to be so young, he killed it. And I kind of wanted to work with him after that.
Yo, getting money in an accelerated pace is Bake. I am part of an accelerated race. Hey, what can I say? Innovation is my generation. But you don't see, I guess you niggas need a demonstration. I'm so evolved from the average human being that I no longer have a body. I am merely just a beam of light. I see in the night without needing the light. Just a benefit of me being this bright. Hold your composure. It's funny how niggas sell their soul for some exposure. Hey, do what you gotta do to get up out this hole, cause this world's like a cold cut sandwich.
Man, when I think about John, I just think about a guy that I met over a decade ago that just shows love and support. Like, you don't even have to talk to him every day. You don't have to shout him out on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, but he comes through and supports. Because when people say real recognizes real, like, That's who John is. Like, he recognizes like-minded people who are really trying to do something. He's kind of like a community activist in a way, that he supports anything that is good for our people or for our community. And I guess it's been a really humbling experience knowing him, is because he feels that way about me and my brother and what we're trying to do. As far as trying to represent, trying to educate people with financial literacy or real estate, or just be positive energy in a world that is super ugly. And that's when I see a reflection when I see him, like what I'm trying to do, he's doing it in his own way. And sometimes, like, you know how you turn on social media and you're on Instagram or Facebook, and then you just swiping through, and all of a sudden, boom, there goes John, and he's doing some kind of event or program. And then I feel bad because, like, how come I didn't know I should be there? But he'll do an event or program that addresses real issues, whether it's Black economics, because addressing the fact that we need to be able to circulate money within our community and teach people how to be entrepreneurs, or whether it has something to do with therapy, because we all need to have self-care and we need to mentally be prepared if we're going to be able to take on these challenges in this world. And it's like, he sees an issue and he does something about it, when a lot of people just complain. They identify problems and don't do anything about it. He's a person who always takes action. And I admire that fire in him. I feel like every circle in a network has a person who's about that action. And that's who John the Author is. He's the guy who's about that action. And even though his name is John the Author, and you think of author as someone who just simply writes about it, he's not just writing about it, he's actually living it.
All I can remember is when I was growing up, they told me failure's not an option. You ever work so hard to get some shit and wanna quit, but can't cause everybody's watching. Hell, even I like ratchet shit, but I can't rap about the shit because they label me as conscious.
Johnny is my little cousin. I don't remember him being born like I remember other little cousins, but he's 3 years younger than me. And when we were children, 3 years younger meant a lot. Now he's 30 and I'm 33. That's not that big of a gap. But back then he was 9 and I was 12. I was 2 digits. He was only 1 digit. That was a lot. There was a big difference there. But now that difference is closed as we got older. So he's my little cousin, and his mother is my first cousin, because my parents had me so late that all my second cousins, which is the children of my first cousins, are the people I hang out with instead of my first cousins. So that's how I know Johnny. Well, when you're young, you watch rap videos and think they're all great. When you get older, you're scrutinized. So we all saw Black people rapping in videos, so we all wanted to be rappers. And I had this friend, Justin and Yari, who would come over my house every day. And then I had my cousins, the Baker boys, who I call the Baker men now, who Johnny is, of course, a part of. And basically, I had a computer, because my dad made sure since I was 4 that I had my own computer, regardless of how big that thing was. I was just a small boy with a computer bigger than me. So I know how to download crack software. I've known how to do that since I was a small child. So I downloaded some recording software, learned how to use it, took a regular mic. I had no idea that I needed the actual recording mic. And we just began recording rap songs. Like, everyone would lose free loops, so I'd give them a copy of, that, or they wouldn't have a computer at all. And we'd all make songs. Me, Justin, Yari, Johnny, and everybody. And we all had a great time making music. And I was really more of a follower. Like, a follower in the sense where my passion was playing video games and writing code, but since everybody else was doing music, let me do it too. And I had a great time doing it with everyone.
John and I first connected through Donda's House. So I was a mentor for Donda's House, and I met Fest, Brian Fest, a couple years before that time, and we just connected. I was able to see what they were doing with the organization. I run an organization called Creative Cypher, and we were able to collaborate on quite a few projects. And outside of our community work, we were able to collaborate on some artistic projects as well. So I produced, I believe, 1 or 2 music videos for John. And then John has actually performed at quite a few of my live events. Events could be from opening or closing in some comedy shows to some of the other film events that I've been a part of. So we've been rocking for some time. Man, John is he's a very authentic person. You know, he's a very authentic brother. I appreciate like what he's done when he was doing the Artist Expo. Let's bring that back, you know, all the way to a lot of the endeavors that he's had. Just our conversations have been very intentional. You know, you can tell that he's just not out just doing anything. He gives thought to everything he's a part of. And I really appreciate that as an artist, but also as a Black man in media, looking at someone else, making sure that they're using their talents for a greater good is very important.
Trying to holler as you weave through the crowd. I don't just want to hit it, girl, I want to lock you down. Cause I heard through the grapevine, not only are you fine like grape wine, you shine like daytime. Wake up in the morning and you hug yourself.
I've known John the author since about 2003. I met him through iRock. I actually met Pro Baker, make and Jimmy through iRock. Yeah, we always like ran the Individuals. We wanted to rap. Like he wanted to rap when I met him. I was just still trying to figure out that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, we was shorties. I think I was 13. Y'all, I was always the youngest cat.
You had a notebook full already. He used to come through sounding like 50 Cent and shit. Like that's around the time Get Rich or Die Trying was just simmering down. He come through with them bars like, oh shit, we got the G unit in the building.
It helped that I had a little muscle and shit. Motherfuckers you real conversation.
On the red.
But I think we all had we had linked up at Jimmy crib, I think. And Jimmy had Acid Pro, that's what we recorded off of. And fucking we had a regular, it was so
Computer mic.
studio mic. It was a computer.
It was a computer mic on the red.
Skinny is a little fucking mic, bro. And you put this, you cut a hole in the shoe, bro.
Come on, son, look, and then you had to put the speaker right there. And rapping like, look, this close. You got the speaker on the end, the little shoebox joint on the mouth. We was in there getting it though. We was making it.
And that day, and you know, Jimmy, my cousin, so Dorothy, I think she was gone that night. She went to the boat or some shit. And we fucking recorded like 3 songs or some shit. And did those shits get deleted? That somehow they got deleted, bro.
And
It's so fucking the beat. You was making a beat and the beat got
deleted, right? And what we do, get something off the internet or something. It was like we still did songs. I remember Pro Baker was working at Walgreens then. You know, the real he came through. We was over there. We like, hey man, we just killed this shit on everything. We out there, man. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Jimmy fell on it or something. Some parents. I remember that shoe. It was a freak accident.
falling the fuck over, cords getting ripped out, and this was like, you know, early 2000s. Like,
Fruity Loop day. Fruity Loop ass and Pro.
wasn't no autosave for some reason. And
I think it was. We just ain't know. We was just playing around with it. I think it was autosave, but we ain't know how to use that shit.
It was a pirated program. You can't never say it was a pirated program.
Oh, okay. There it is. I learned something new every day. I never learned that.
20 years of friendship. I know you gotta have like some of the exclusive John the Arthur / Bake stories. What's your fondest story?
All right, what can I tell without getting us in trouble? Damn, I didn't really think about that. We got a couple of them. I would say one of the funniest ones was he had this Thunderbird, and we was cruising around going everywhere in this Thunderbird, and it was so beat up. It was trash looking, you know what I'm saying? It's like he got into all type of accidents, but that man was everywhere in that car working with everybody.
When we were young, and Justin was like a year older than me, sometimes, depending on the part of the year. The other part of the year, he's older than me. And Johnny was like 9, right? So Johnny saw, 3 years different. So Johnny saw D Block or A Block or whatever block that was real. And then he decided that he was gonna call himself F Block. Just change the name of F Block. And he was trying to rap, and Justin thought he was good, and I thought he was good, and he was like, I wanna be as good as y'all one day. And then like it's like really funny because now he's better than us. He's way better than me. He's better, he has more shows than Justin. He has more success with Justin in the music industry. So he just, grew into the ultimate rapping champion.
Climb aboard, close the door, don't know where I'm going. I never traveled on this road before. My homie told me, take your ass home, but I can't, I never had that many hoes before. What type of shit is that to say out loud? Being a player should be played out now, especially at my age, especially at my stage. Don't want to downgrade to a lower mind frame. I was dumb at first.
Oh, let's focus on something. He can ride the beat. He has his rap style figured out. He knows how his voice is going to be when he rhymes. He rhymes about things that are not just the mainstream subject. And when he tells stories in his rhymes, they're very, very good. He pays for high quality so that his albums sound really, really good in comparison to other albums. Johnny just is, like, to me, a professional artist.
The first song we made had me, Jimmy. The first one I made had me, Jimmy, and Justin on it, and I think Yari. And I think the first one me and Bake made, me. I don't know the first song. I just knew the first song. I remember the first song we made, and I was like, man, we actually tight. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we good. Like, I don't think the first song either, but I know we made a lot. I know we made Straight to the Money. When we made Straight to the Money, that's when I was like, man, we got some shit on everything. We good at this shit on everything. Straight to the money, that's when I knew.
Face the auto exhaustion, no pausing, nigga. I ride around the track and go straight to the money, straight to the money, straight to the money. Never swerve or swing, I'm going straight to the money.
I was like, yeah, we got some of that shit. It just took off from there.
I was telling Greg earlier, like, how I thought it was so dope that, like, we always had a studio to record. I felt like that was a privilege because we were able to, just like sharpen our, our skills.
Yeah, and that was beautiful because we and then we help out. Everybody, like, if one go down, we building it somewhere else. Like, man, we gotta have the studio. We gotta get the music out there. So what I love most about it was everybody always participated. Well, at least the core individuals always participated in making sure we was able to record all the time.
I remember it was a good portion of the time when we was at your studio. You had one of your own. You had one of them. What Frank Love? You had one of them Jimmy mics too.
Yeah, my folded. My microphone, it'll go flat, and you can sit it like almost like a speaker for a TV or whatever, and you can fold it up and then have both. Boy, well, I swear, we thought we was flat and recording artists with that joint. Stop playing. You couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah, for the longest, I mean, your studio was a studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, we used to go over your crib. Well, I used to go over your crib, man, every day. You know what I'm saying? We used to fall asleep over in that joint, man. Wake up, make music, shit, just chill, hang out, play the games. Just, you know what I'm saying? Kids growing up. But then with the love that we had for music, man, like, you want to speak on that, you know what I'm saying? Like how those days was, man.
Yeah, so I mean, it started out like we all was, like I say, we started out like-minded individuals. We was like, you know what, we all want to do some entertainment, music, whether it's rapping, singing. It didn't really matter, making a beat, record, it don't matter. The thing was like, that changed into something. When we found out, like, we good. Like, people were like, hey, y'all good. Like, we started getting that notoriety and stuff, like, not big in the beginning, but just enough to know, like, oh, we own or something. That's when the competitiveness started. Because, like, with the rappers, you got, like, you, me, like, in the beginning, Justin,
You feel me? And like really that was like the 3 core and the rappers. And you know what I'm saying? Cause you know, Greg was singing this shit. And, you know, he was cutting this R&B record. So he was on his girl and the sexy shit. Then we was just on some, we finna have the hardest bars. And then eventually we end up bumping in the cheese, which I think added a little bit more spice into the pot. And it was like with his style of rapping, it was like, oh man, we got some more elements, you know, to add to the bag. So I think what really like, you know, what really, that was the drive. It was like to beat to like, I want them to be like, hey, he had the best verse. And then like we'll be sitting up there playing songs and be like, hey man, who's that on that second verse? He was like, damn, that was, yeah. That was my homie though. He killed that shit, didn't he? You feel? How you like my verse though? It was just a competitive thing, you know what I'm saying? But it was friendly competition. That's what I really loved about it. Like, you know, it wasn't never no, like, it was definitely a desire to be the best. But it wasn't no malice, no ill will intended. So it was like, that's why I think it made it last so long. Cause we get in there and we don't just come in there and be like, hey, yeah, man, you know, we had our spell where we was like, no, we just gotta make something that's hot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Them times like, man, we need to make something. So we track it on radio or something. But the majority of the time we was up in there thinking. Yeah. And it's like me and him, the songs we done did. Oh my God. Like we'd sit in there literally. I remember one day it was me, you, Justin, and Cheese. And we split up. Remember we had on the iMac downstairs and my mama and dad in the room. And then I still had the one upstairs. And we was like, hey, they gonna make a song. And we gonna make a song. Oh, yeah, cause they killed it in the rain. In the rain. They made that one, and we made that on me. I still think our shit was harder, but you know, you could. Like I think we fuck, cause like I say, we be thinking, we passing thoughts across, like we gotta come off like this and this, and then you know it's always that one dude be like, "Hey man, what you got? So rap your shit real quick."
You know, the way I look at it is like, we came over here on the same boat. You know, the last thing we need to do is be fighting each other. I'm not your enemy, girl. I'm your closest ally, if anything, girl. Don't let the enemy drain you of all your energy, girl.
It was fun. Yeah, we knew each other for a long time. We talked a lot of shit. We made a lot of music. We got history. Me, him, his brothers. You know what I'm saying? Certain other people, Defo, we got a lot of history together.
Were you guys more so friends from the block, or did you guys go to school and stuff together also?
No, I met Bake through mutuals, and we just all had the same interests. You know, I started rapping when I was 11 years old, and we met through a mutual friend of his. And when I met Bake was so different. You know what I'm saying? To me, like, it was to the point where, since Bake was the baby of the group, of Block Lock, they would say shit like, yeah, man, give Bake your weak beats, he'll rap off anything. And I'm like, I'm not doing that, Bake cold as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when they'll tell me to do that, and I was like, nah, I'm not giving him no shitty beat, I'm gonna give him something decent. And then he was surprising me every time, to the point where we was working together like crazy. We was, you know what I'm saying, damn near every day for like a good 2 summers, we was every day working with some shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Real? I know y'all have a project y'all were working on, like you know, visually, how would that project guys sound? Is it like
oh, yeah, you talking about Tainted Minds.
We really get it poppin' when we ride. All the stress and this pain that we hide inside our tainted mind. Our tainted minds.
Tainted Minds was a concept that I don't know how he felt, but I know for a fact that I wasn't. I had a group, and we would just come up with some crazy shit. We was trying to go out the category with a lot of things. And Tainted Minds would have been cold, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't come out because, you know, yeah, I was trying to do my own thing. I got a little lazy, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, Tainted Minds would have still been cold to this day. We got a song called Fat Ass. It's still on the internet. It's still on YouTube. Y'all want to look that up? It's J Bake Fat Ass.
She got a big old juicy booty and she know just how to work it.
Yeah. That was back when he was Jay Bake though. Now he John Arthur, you know.
We're outsider, I'm an insider. Niggas be telling me that they can hear us all outside when I'm insider. That's cool, I'm an east sider. What's poppin'? Y'all niggas ain't stopping.
But nah, it was cool. Everything was cool. Like Tainted Minds would have been dope. I still think Tainted Minds would be dope if we do it to this day, because we were trying to do something different than everybody else is doing. Yeah, Fat Ass one part, we just needed a hit. That's all that was. But yeah, this is a radio cut. Yeah, everything else was more so deep, thought provoking, lyrical. You know, we both tried to outbar each other on a lot of songs. It's friendly competition. You know, even with his group Block Lock, we had Shot City Mob, so CCM. So Block Lock and CCM was two groups from the same hood, but we, you know, what they weren't, we were, and what we wasn't, they were. You know, as far as like sound, yeah, and they was the dudes that made songs for the woman, and they had they lyrics was lyrical as fuck. We was more so like the crunk, try to, you know, talking all this other stupid shit we was doing at the time, you know. But we gelled together, and once we came together, it was took off after that. But yeah, this all started from Tainted Minds. I'm sorry.
People like it going.
Tainted Minds was decent though. The Tainted Minds was. I wish I had some of the songs. I only got like 2 of them songs right now, and them songs is cold as fuck. Funeral Music, Tainted Minds, Fat Ass, Drinking While I'm Driving. Those are some classics.
Like it was like he said, it was friendly competition. You know what I mean? Like it was never like, oh, if you had a harder verse than me, like I'm mad. It was like, oh man, you inspired me to
Get your ass next day.
step my shit up, and that's why I think that's why, like, to this day, I give credit to this brother, to Joke, you know what I'm saying, to you, to Cheese, because like us being around each other and having that love for music, like we really had it, and like it was genuine, it was pure, it was sincere. Like we really wanted to be good artists before anything. Like we ain't coming to making music just because we wanted to be famous, just because we wanted to be rich. We really loved the art form, you know what I'm saying? We loved the culture, and us being around each other, like we incubated, you know what I'm saying, each other in that shit. So when me being the youngest, I always looked up to you, and I always looked up to Joe as like, yo, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Whenever y'all would write verses, it always seemed like y'all verses was finishing quick. Y'all got done with y'all shit quicker than mine. Like y'all cadence was just, you know what I'm saying, always, you know what I'm saying, there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all knew what y'all wanted to talk about. Y'all could stay on subject, you know what I mean? And I would just kind of be knowing what's going on in my mind and how hard it would be to get the verse started. And then like, you know what I'm saying, to get through the verse where it'd actually be a dope verse, but somehow I would get through it.
Perfection.
But like, just you know what I'm saying, coming up and like watching you guys and like having you guys by my side to like as I'm honing on my skills, bro. I'm like, I thank God for that, bro, because I wouldn't I couldn't see, you know what I'm saying, getting this break without having great motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, beside me to help me be that, you know what I'm saying?
Like with you, to credit, like I want to say that was, I went to college in what, 06? I think I came back in 07 and was like, holy shit. What the fuck happened to Mr. Baker? Like, this man going crazy, chewing shit up, because, you know, we sending shit back from Mississippi, like, bang, we down in Mississippi, like, all right, we trying to cater to these people, you feel me? Like, make the type of shit they, because we telling them about Jay-Z, they like, Jay-Z, nah, nigga, Lil Boosie. Like, R. Kelly, nah, man, they follow MJG, like, you know, they got a counter for everything, so, like Yo Gotti God down there, you feel me? I'm sending stuff back here. This bacon piecing and stuff. What is this? Like, he done turned into a whole nother thing right now. And I think when we got back and we started recording, it was the flip a lot. It was the reverse. I'm hearing your shit like, shit. I gotta go. Hey, yeah, give me a minute. I need to, you know, fix a couple things real quick. Like, it was there, and I knew it. I'm like, man, like, I always like take a keen like look into like how shit is constructed. When you hear it, it's like, it's one thing I could say that a million type of ways, but the way it was being said by him, I'm like, man, yeah, ain't nobody talking like that. Not out here, not in Chicago. They rapping, but they ain't talking like that. They ain't talking that shit. They too scared to talk that type of shit on the real. And it kind of helped me a whole lot, like rapping, trying to be popular and woo out the band and stuff like that. He flipped the whole script on some like, no, I want to talk about real life situations. I was like, you know what? That's what made it not become a game anymore. That music is not a game. It's like, you know what? Yeah, we really sharing our thoughts. So I got to credit you for that, because I always looked at it like a sport. Then I started looking at it like a way of life. You feel me? So.
Trying to stay afloat, you know we on the same boat.
I mean, who gon' understand you like you understand me?
Gotta stay awoke, they never let our chains go.
Who gon' understand me like I understand you?
What would make John unique? John would be unique. You know, again, I think that when I think of answering a question like that, it still goes back to authenticity. I know a lot of times when you're an entertainer, no matter what that genre may be, you can easily fall into the trap of chasing trends or fads or trying to mimic or recreate somebody else. And by John staying true to who he is, what his focus is ultimately what separates him. Because no matter what's shifting around, it's good to be aware and conscious of it, but staying true to who you are is super important. And I've seen that over the years. Outside of his work as an artist, I see him as, you know, a great family man. You know, you can tell that he understands that all of this is about a bigger goal. You know, there's a bigger purpose for us being here beyond just, you know, being dope on the mic or in front of the camera.
How do you feel like people received him when he was performing, and the different things that you've seen from him when he was performing when you first started out on the shows with him, and the growth and what he's doing now?
Well, at first it was like, ha, look at that kid rapping. This is what he rapping. Now it's just like, damn, profound dope sound. It's amazing. Stakes in the trial. Provide. Now it's just like I'm really feeling this, you know. So that's like the difference right there. Like, you know, and then like when I go to his shows, sometimes I don't go to shows. I remember that he had the show I didn't go to, and I saw like on Facebook where it was, and the whole club was full. And I'm performing poetry at that club all the time. It's never full when I'm performing. So like, you know, that's the difference. The difference is that kid's rapping to a full club just for his album. What is it called? Album release party or listening party? Yes.
We spent almost 10 years like rapping together, best friends, you know, and all of that stuff. And I think at one point in time we fell out, you know. I don't know how it led up to us falling out, but it just happened, man. And I think it's good that like over the, you know, as time passed, we were able to come back together. And, you know, when we did come back together, it was like the feeling, and to me, it was like, this nigga still my brother. You know what I'm saying? I had never felt like, I ain't feel like you was a stranger, you know what I'm saying?
It was just one of those, like, I don't know what he on. I don't know what he is, feel like that. And I'm saying, I thought that I don't know what he on, but he ain't got still, you feel me? Because it's like, maturation is gonna overshadow, you know, that was an ego clash. Then we fought twice in our whole life, and it was an ego clash. The first one was, and the second one was, and you know what I'm saying? It was just a whole lot of shit bottled up. Like you said, we've known each other for 20 years, and sometimes we bottle shit up, you know what I'm saying? Out of love, like, man, what up, woo out the band. That's on both sides, you feel me? But sometimes it's like, especially get a little crown involved, nigga. Boom. Boom, it's all out in the open, that shit. We out here fist fighting on this porch. That's what brothers do, though. On my soul, like I say, I done fought all my brothers, except Greg. I gotta get him, I owe him one, but at the end of the day, That's that helped me too, though. I wanted to like that helped me too. You feel me? Like I remember when it happened, I was like, I ran up. I was with Grace then. I ran to Grace. What happened? Man, phone bake, man. For real, to walk the panel. She just gave me the straight script right then and there, and I'm like,
yeah. You know, to me, it's like I always looked at you at the time. Like it was like, man, this big bro. You know what I'm saying? It was always it was the brotherhood, but it was also like a mentor mentee thing. You know, type to me. Yeah. You know, because I always looked up to you as like the MC. So I think I know at the time I started to feel like I'm coming into my own man, and I'm coming into my own like artist. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to, you know, you always had been a leader. You know what I'm saying? Of the whole crew. And I guess I was trying to come from up under that because I felt like, look, this is what we should kind of.
rightfully so, though. It's just like, wasn't nobody trying to hear you, but you actually know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to keep things safe and the old way, you know? And that's the thing niggas gotta learn. Like, nah. Like, this world changes, it evolves, it spins, it does what it does. Like,
I think we do. I do have a mentor, big brother relationship with him. You know, I was looking over social media posts where you know he would show up, and I was looking on the captions, and he would say, I'm with my big brothers," and things of that nature. And it'll be interesting hearing that because, you know, I mean, I have younger siblings, but the energy I get from him is not like, oh, he's my little brother, because he's doing many of the things that I'm doing. I just have a bigger platform, but he's doing exactly what I'm doing. And so it's a pleasure giving him whatever information, whatever referrals he needs or whatever it is, because it's not a waste of time. I know he's taking action on that.
Experiencing John on a daily basis now, like for over a decade, what I believe makes John unique is like his ability to learn and grow. Like, not everybody has that. Like, not everybody can say, man, like, I made a mistake, or man, how do I get better at this? Like, I meet so many people that come in and they always know the answer. They always got the answer to the problem. Even when they fail, they got the answer to the problem. And then there are other people who fall and never get up.
Describing John in 3 words. Man, usually they say 1. I got to think of 3 of them now. First thing, I mentioned it before, is intentional. I appreciate when we have creative conversations and dialogues because we get to really think about the why behind things. So intentional is going to be one of those words. I can't get away from saying authentic, as I mentioned earlier, and for sure determined, because you can't work in this game, you can't work in this industry without having a level of resiliency to being able to navigate the challenges of being not only an artist but a creative entrepreneur. So, you know, I would say definitely resilient, authentic, and I forgot my first word. I said resilient, authentic, and intentional. Yeah.
I do want to add this. One thing that that I have learned from watching John is that he is strong and vulnerable at the same time in a world that tells black men, that we can't be strong and vulnerable at the same time. And he shared different aspects of his journey, and I'm just sitting on social media reading. I'm like, wow, I don't know if I would have shared that. And he shared that because he feels like somebody needs that inspiration or know that they're not alone going through something.
What advice would you give to John, like as a artist, creative? What advice would you give to him for moving forward?
moving forward, I would tell John to continue to keep that good energy around him, continue to keep good folks, because I look at like who he's worked with on projects and folks that we've seen at different events, even folks that are here right now. Simeon, shout out behind the camera. I've known Simeon for a long time, you know, so it's always good to see when folks have a strong support system around them as they grow. So I would say continue to fortify those relationships, leverage those resources, build with one another, because the level of success that we all want to achieve, we don't get there by ourselves. And John is keen enough to know how to build fruitful relationships and authentic relationships with like-minded artists.
Well, I always tell Johnny that he's great all the time, because he is. And I mean, his stuff isn't whack. And, you know, I tell him that all the time. He appreciates it. And, you know, when we were kids, we used to, you know, make songs and everything, you know, for fun. And, like, you know, I think Johnny is at this point where he can truly become a famous rapper. You know, I think he needs to, like, he was doing a lot of shows. I was on Facebook, and every other week I'd see Johnny doing a show somewhere, and I've never done a show before. They wouldn't let me, and I got to buy a ticket. But he's doing a show there, and I talked to Johnny, and Johnny was like, yeah, I was doing that, but, you know, I feel as if I got to take a step back from that. But, like, you know, staying in that routine is how you get there, you know. I think Johnny should continue doing shows and continue doing African festivals and continue selling out, filling up whole clubs for album release parties so that one day he gets there. And I hope he doesn't have any rap beef for anybody, because I don't want him shot.
What would you want to see John be next?
You know, so I asked John a question last night. We had this ill conversation. So, you know, working with Ye, one of the things I see is that over the period of time is that it's not that he just believes or says, you know, I could do this, and then, you know, he does it. It's that he'll say that he can do something that sounds unbelievable. It sounds like, come on, bro. Like, so for example, you know, we'd be 15, 14 years old, and he's like, man, I'm gonna be bigger than Jay-Z. Can you imagine what that sounded like to me at that time? Like, we in your mama house, bro. Like, Jay-Z is like, you know, you'll never be bigger than Jay-Z, bro. Jay-Z's the God, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, no, I will be. Like, you know, and he really believed it. And he really, like, no matter what was going on, he believed it. It wasn't just like, you know, sometimes we had this fake confidence, like, I'm beautiful. And I know you don't feel that. Like, but like this guy really believes everything he says and moves like it's already past tense. And a lot of us, we start off believing something until we get knocked upside the head real good, and then we readjust the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I asked John, what is it that you believe about yourself, about your future, about what is to be that none of us see right now? What is it that you believe that if you said it to me, I'd be like, bro, you're crazy? Because that's the thing. That's the you. That's the, like, genius. That's the brilliance. Like, and can you, that thing that you see for yourself that nobody else can see, can you be consistent? Can you go through the knocks and the bruises? Can you, like, bust through the barriers because it's already done, whether anybody sees it or not? So there are really no barriers. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that thing? And, you know, I really believe we must all ask ourselves that question. Who is the you in the future that you don't see that you know exists? And how do you step into that person? And I asked John that, and he got ready to answer. And I said, don't answer that. Think about it. Then come back and tell me what you think. And you know, that's what I would like to see for John. I would like to see John step into the unbelievable him.
Honestly, the question you asked about my first impression of John is that this dude is charismatic and he stands out in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an ocean of people, but he's gonna be heard. You're gonna see him, and it's not like because he needs to have the light shining on him. It's because he wants to make sure that everybody's enjoying themselves and feels respected and heard. And and he's the one who's gonna be the catalyst of making that happen. And I'm like, we need more people like John the author.
Is there anything you would like to share with Jay Baker you feel like you haven't covered with John the author?
What I would say to John Baker is I'm proud of you. You feel me? Like, I'm proud of you right here. I ain't really got it, like I say, you, like, all y'all, everybody that, we came up with, you feel me? In a way, like I say, everything, it impacted me as an individual and what I got going on. Family, all that, and, watching everybody move in their own paths and their own way. Sometimes you get shades of that and you look at it and be like, man, okay, that's some stand-up shit right there. But as far as the music, I've always looked up to him as an artist. I always, like, I couldn't put 9 people ahead of him on like writing bars. I couldn't put 9 people ahead of you, bro. I couldn't.
No, I feel the same way about you.
I couldn't do it because it's like, I know like we got our shock value, but then it's like, nah, it's levels to this shit. And it's like, I couldn't put 9 people ahead of you, you know what I'm saying? And I rock for that matter too. But yeah, I just want to say I'm proud of you. You dope as fuck. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let nobody tell you not to stay on your path and get this money, shit.
Yeah.
But like, man, I just do my behind the scenes stuff now, but one of these days when I get my 16 bars, when I get that together, we can, I might have to battle them or something, You heard it here first. Come on, man. Come on. I'm a competitor. I don't care what it is. I'm a competitor, but no, it's all good.
This is my life. Hey, put this in here too. I'm proud of you, Bake. That's it. He gonna edit that out though.
You got a question, yell if you got the answer. Mom told me pull my pants up, say son it's time to man up. I came a long way from that kid you knew in Jeffrey Manor. Hold on. Man, it's like this. You know what I mean? Like, not all good deeds bring good results, you dig? As a matter of fact, they say the road to hell is paved by people with good intentions. Just cause you meant well don't mean you did well. Yo, I might skip a couple steps, but I ain't missing a beat. And if something do get broken, it'll be fixed in a week. I got the game down packed, wash, rinse, and repeat. You know how many niggas wish they would've listened to me? Trying to see where it went, cash flowing in so quick, hard to keep track of what I spent. Just went camping with my chick, we spent the weekend in a tent, getting closer to the earth. Wrap your hands around my shirt and hold on. You know they say when you